Hi, my name is Jenny. Welcome to my channel JK Star A Reader. Today I'm doing a Friday Reads. That's right, it's a Friday Reads for me and I have a stack of books here to talk about. So let's get going. The first book I have to show you, it is A Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. So I started reading this book a few weeks ago and I am at the 150 page mark. I took it with me on my bus commute and I spilled water on it, so you can see it's damaged from the water. And so I still plan to read this book and carry on from where I left off. It seems to be a pretty interesting story, fantasy story that reminds me of the Lord of the Rings in some aspects in terms of the description of the journey that the wars go on. So yeah, it'll be interesting to read further into this book and make progress on reading this book and the rest of the series, which I have in mass market paperbacks. I did see a new collector edition box set of mass market paperbacks. It seems to be a fairly good aesthetically looking set of books with faux leather, I believe. So I'll just whether I will actually get it for my collection is another question. So yeah, A Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. The next book I have to show you, it is Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmus. So I read this book for a book club and I did attend the meeting this past week, except I didn't read to the very end. So while I did have thoughts about this book while reading it, I enjoyed the company of fellow book clubbers, listening to their stories of motherhood and career, and it's interesting to read this book, which takes place in the 1960s, when the main character is a woman who pursues a career in science, and it is about the difficulties she encounters while in trying to attain her PhD. And so it's I read let's see, to about the 162 page mark, and I still have more to go. So although the book club meeting has gone already, I still would like to finish this book. So we'll see if I have time this week. Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmus. Next I have books that I would like to get to this week. And so this next one is a poetry collection. It is the Marianne Moore Complete Poems. And I believe this is a Pulitzer Prize winning poet with this collection that I was able to obtain from a local used bookstore. And although this particular bookstore, they have a shed downtown where they sell books from their private residence, and so I was able to get this book earlier in the year and I still have not had a chance to read it. So I'm making more effort to reading poetry, as the feeling for it is now here part of me. And so yeah, Complete Poems by Marianne Moore. Another book that I would like to get to this week, this one is Telex from Cuba by Rachel Kushner. So this will be the second book that I will be reading this year on the Cuban Revolution. And so the other book that I read earlier in the year is called King of Cuba by Cristina Garcia. and she has written a series of books on the topic of being part of the overseas expat Cuban community in the U.S. And so this particular one by Rachel Kushner looks more closely at the revolutionary activities of some of the individuals involved with the revolution in Cuba and South America. And so I interested in getting to this book because I will be seeing the author at author reading on Monday, and while the book in question that she will be promoting is her new book, Creation Lake, which has been shortlisted for the Booker Prize. I wanted to read something from the author's backlist catalog to get a sense of her writing before going into the new book. So yeah, Telex from Cuba by Rachel Kushner. And one more book to show you for this video. This one is They Marched into Sunlight, War and Peace, Vietnam and America, October 1967. So this is a book that I've had for a number of years, and I've been meaning to get to it. I know I started it at one point and I read a few chapters, but I did not get to the end. So here's another opportunity to read this book. I would like to read this non-fiction book before going on to reading The Women by Kristen Hanna, I believe that's her name. And so yeah, reading this book will be I guess look back at history of the 1960s and US and Vietnam history and the war that took place at that time. And so we'll see, get a better sense of the time, the time in history in which these events occurred. So yeah, They Marched into Sunlight, War and Peace, Vietnam and America, October 1967 by David Maraniss. So yeah, that's it for me for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye!